Martin, wasn't it?
Yes. Let me explain. Patricia, come on, where are you going?
I suppose you hate me too now.
Why should I?
Oh, the things he must have said.
Nothing he said made me feel any different. Come on, you shouldn't be outside by yourself. Come back to Jill's.
Susan told me you had the photograph, and I came here to tell you not to go chasing after him, and there he was. I just couldn't believe
It's nothing to get upset about. Come on inside.
I didn't think she'd get Angela on side again.
Me neither. When Angie said she wanted to apologise, I just left her to it. Thought I'd come back here and get Dominique.
So wonder she's not awake by now.
She doesn't sleep too long. She doesn't sleep in the afternoon. She doesn't want to go to bed at night.
Our kids were the same, weren't they?
Oh, she's only been down in an hour or so. She seemed very tired, though.
She was awake a couple of times during the night, crying.
Oh, bad dreams?
And she was calling for her mother, Kerry.
Well, you can't expect her to forget that quickly. I'll see if she's awake.
Well, what did the solicitor say?
Well, he's written to Kerry for a consent. Once we have it, there shouldn't be any problem.
Yeah, you'll feel more relaxed once you know she's really yours.
Yeah, once she gets over missing Kerry.
It's like Beryl said. Takes a while.
Here she is, Daddy. She's been as good as gold.
Good on you. Come on, sweetheart.
Oh. You going back to pick up Angela?
She said she'd get a taxi. I hope she's not going to be around there every day. Even if Patricia's sick, I don't want to mix it up in our lives again.
Thanks, John. At least we can stop worrying now. Bye.
Is she all right?
He's bringing her home now.
Well, what was she doing at Jill's?
Looking for him. Apparently she's a bit upset. They're trying to calm her down.
Well, what about?
Don't know. Can't talk with her these days. She's up and down like a yo-yo.
I had no idea that she was...
I did try and tell you.
Yeah, and I feel awful about it.
Oh, I don't feel too great either. Shouldn't have left her in the first place.
Oh, you had to get the prescription filled. Anyway, where's Wayne?
He's been out on business the last few days.
Oh, I bet. There's no way he'd be working when he can sponge off Mother. He's probably just keeping out of the way so he doesn't have to help.
You really don't like him, do you?
No, I never have. The feeling's mutual. I'm just sorry you have to put up with him.
He's been all right to me.
Don't tell me you like him.
Take him as I find him. Showed a lot of concern for your mother.
Only because of what he might get out of it. I hope she snaps out of it soon. It's been nearly a month.
Could happen quite suddenly, or it could be a long, slow process. Depends on what happens up there.
You should never have got in touch with him.
I wanted to know.
What did he say? What did he tell you about me?
Just that you were pregnant, but he couldn't marry you. He found out you were going away with David, and he thought everything would be all right.
Nothing else?
No. Just what Margaret told me. Was there anything else?
No. No, I just thought he might have tried to lie about me, that's all.
Why would he do that?
I don't want you to see him again.
This might make you feel better, Mrs. Hamilton.
I'm fine, thank you. I don't like you going behind my back, taking the photograph, making Susan lie.
I've explained.
I want you to promise me that you will never get in touch with him again.
I better get back to the house.
John, promise me?
I love you, and nothing can change that. So stop worrying.
And here he comes. Woof, woof, woof. Yes, come to think of it, bears don't say woof. Now, you just wait there. I'll go away. Farmers?
Doug Palmer, is it? This is Fiona Thompson.
Oh, good day, Fiona.
I was just checking to see what time to pick Lynn up at the airport.
Oh, a plane leaves at 4. She should be there a bit after 5.
Right.
You know she's taking Davy.
Yes, we'll look after him.
Have you got a bassinet for him? He's too little to go into a bed.
I've borrowed one from a friend.
And you haven't got any animals around the place. It's bad enough here with Jill's cat.
No. No pets.
And what about noise? He needs plenty of sleep.
It's very quiet here, Doug. If you're so worried about it, you ought to come along as a nursemaid.
I'm just trying to make sure everything's all right for them. Come to think of it, that's such a bad idea.
All right, Doug. Fine. I'll be at the airport at 5. Oh, me and my big mouth. Oh, I didn't realize you had so much to carry.
It's all right.
I've really let my cupboard get down. I've had my visitors going hungry. Not after the lecture I just got. Did I give you enough money? I didn't.
It's all right. I had a bit.
You need every cent you've got. Now, how much do I owe you?
Look, really, it doesn't matter. I want to do something.
You're always doing something. How much?
$5.50.
Right. There we go. $5 and... where are we? There. 50 cents.
No one's ever been as good to me as you are.
Oh, you've been meeting the wrong people.
Even my parents. That's not really fair. They were good to me. Just ashamed, I suppose.
Ashamed?
When I had Dominique. You know, small country town. Mum and Dad were really embarrassed. It's one of the reasons I left.
Oh, they would have stood by you, surely.
Probably. But I could always tell what they were thinking. I thought if they were ashamed of me, I'd get out. Haven't been in touch with them since.
Oh. But they worry about you.
Probably.
Well, you ought to write them a letter. Just let them know you're all right.
I might. You've made me realize how important it is to have people around who really care. It makes a lot of difference.
I'm glad.
Rob will be wondering where I've got to. He wasn't too pleased about me being here in the first place.
Give him a ring.
Well, that sounds like them now. Here we are, all safe and sound.
Sorry if you were worried, Susan.
As long as you're okay.
I'm sorry about this morning. I didn't realize how sick you were.
I'm sorry. I was a bit dramatic. Seem to be thinking a little more clearly now.
You look washed out.
I am a bit tired. I understand how you feel, and I don't blame you. I've done some things that, well, let's just say I probably deserve it. But I want you to know that you're still very important to me. So, don't think too badly of me, please.
They said a stewardess will heat up the bottle for me on the plane.
I hope Davy isn't airsick.
Oh, don't even say it.
I'm glad you've got Fiona to go to. She'll give you the right royal treatment.
Yeah, I can't help being excited.
Well, why shouldn't you be?
Oh, I don't know, leaving Kevin. I don't really want to go away from you all, but...
Oh, you'd be silly not to go, love. It's terrific you got the offer.
Yeah. I hope Kevin doesn't mind too much. Well, he's trying to be really good about it, but I don't think he's really that keen.
He just hates the thought of being without you for a couple of weeks. But he'll survive. We'll look after him.
Well, that's Davy all packed for.
Got much more to do?
Oh, I'm just about ready.
Soon you'll be winging it. How do you reckon that'll be, eh?
Well, don't you give him too much of that or he'll be sick before he gets on the plane.
He won't get sick. The Palmer's always been good flyers.
Well, I'm glad he takes after your side. Well, I hope he does, because I'm terrible.
When I ring you, I'll put the phone to his ear so you can talk to him.
Good one. And don't forget that fish and chip shop we found on the Corso. I expect a couple of presents.
We'll
One
bring
from
you
me.
some cold fish and chips. Oh, I wish you were coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you better get a wriggle on. They won't hold the plane up for you, huh?
Well, I'm ready. How about you, Lynn?
Where are you going, Dad?
With them. Made my booking earlier.
You can't land on Fiona like that.
I'm not landing on anyone. She invited me over the phone.
Well, why didn't you tell us?
Oh, I thought I'd give you all a bit of a surprise.
Well, you've done that all right. What do you want to go up there for?
To keep an eye on Lynn and Davy. Besides, I haven't been to Sydney since the war. I'd like to see how much has changed. And I mind looking on Rosie. Teach her how to grow decent tomatoes. Nice woman, but she's got some funny ideas about gardening.
I put out the bins. We'll have to worry about it later now.
Oh, look what Lynn left behind. Poor little Davy will miss it.
You get so many cuddles from Fiona, he won't have time for it.
The house already seems quieter without them.
That's because Dad's gone.
There was no talking loud of it, was there?
Stubborn as an old mule. Don't think Lynn was too happy.
No, I think getting away from everything was part of the fun. Now she probably feels she's taken Harvard with her.
Yeah, the grumpy half. Did you see the list of things he left? You'd think he owns the place. Water the garden. Don't forget to feed Plan C.
And when he's here, he pretends he can't stand the poor little thing.
Anyway, it's going to be quieter without him.
Have you thought about what it means, him going off with them? If he's so attached to them that he can't bear to leave them out of his sight, it only backs up what I was saying.
But he wants to stay on. I suppose you're right. He's so tight with his money, if he was going to go home, he'd leave from Sydney. I'll just have to have a talk to him when he gets back to find out what his plans are.
Bit of a change, him wanting to stay on.
Yeah. Suppose we're getting on better than we used to. Still drives me crazy, though.
Maybe you could stand it?
Maybe.
Oh, there you are, little Davy boy. It's your new home for the next couple of weeks.
Hope he behaves himself.
No need to worry. Now I'm here to keep an eye on him.
Yes. Well, Linda, you and Davy can have the spare room. There is a bassinet in there.
Oh, terrific. I thought we might have to put him in a bed with pillows packed around him.
That'll be too dangerous. He gets smothered.
Everything's organised.
Oh, well, where do you want me to put my stuff?
Well, I'm afraid you'll have to sleep on a folding bed in here, Doug. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, no. I can doss down anywhere.
Always saying you can't sleep at home.
Oh, I'm all right now. I've got a decent pillow.
Oh, there was no need to bring that. I've got plenty.
Oh, I found one that suits me. Best to stick to it.
Yes. Well, you'd better come up and get the bed from Bunty and Thel. I think it needs changing there. There you go.
Oh, does he ever? Can't wait till he's out of nappies.
No, it'll be a while yet.
Yeah, I know. I think I'll use disposable ones while I'm up here. Save me worrying about washing them.
I don't reckon those newfangled things are any good for his skin.
They're fine.
Yes, well, now, come on, let's get to bed. You're just going to love Bunty and Thel. They're right down your alley.
Couple of funny old chooks, if you ask me.
Bunty and Thel are the salt of the earth. Why, they give you the clothes off their back.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, Kerry, my visitors have arrived. Doug Palmer, this is Kerry Mitchell.
Pleased to meet you. Kerry Mitchell. Where have I heard that name before?
Oh, Kerry's Dominie's mother.
Ah, I see. I can manage it from here.
He's related to Rob and Angela, isn't he?
Yeah. He's, Angela's grandfather.
Pretty obvious what he thinks of me.
Oh, don't worry about him. He's a funny old bigot from way back.
Can't say I blame him.
Now, listen, you've got to stop that. I've told you you've got to snap out of that attitude. Who do you think you are, Doug Palmer?
Eh?
The way you treated Kerry.
I'm surprised you'd even have her here. Any mother who dumps her baby's not worth tuppence in my book. No better than Patricia Hamilton.
Okay. I am not going to bother arguing the rights and wrongs of it with you. I'm just going to tell you this. As long as you are a guest in my home, you will toe the line as far as Kerry is concerned. I'm not going to have that poor kid any more upset than she is already.
I don't know why you're taking her side.
There are no sides. And you've no right to sit in judgment. You don't know anything about Kerry or what she's been through. So I suggest you keep your mouth shut on the subject.
All right. I won't say anything to her. Don't expect me to like her.
As long as you keep your opinions to yourself, I don't much care what they are.
Too soft-hearted for your own good.
I can be as hard as nails when I need to.
Well, it's your home. I'm just a guest here. You can do what you like.
Thank you.
You awake, Fiona?
I am now. Hold on. Oh, just wait a minute. Oh, it'd better be at least a fire.
Your breakfast.
Oh, it's too early in the morning for food.
It's nearly 8 o'clock. I've been up for hours. I went down to the pier. I thought you'd have breakfast on by the time I got back. When you weren't up, I reckon you must have overslept. So I made it.
Oh, how very kind of you.
Well, would you want it in bed? I mean, that's why I put it on the tray.
No. I'm up now. Might as well stay up. I'll eat it in the kitchen.
Whatever you want.
Whatever I want.
Good morning.
Morning it is. Good, I'm not so sure. Seems I'd only just got to sleep when Doug came hammering on my door.
Your early night didn't do you any good then?
Oh, my body's just not used to it. I couldn't sleep. I read a little and then I got the portable telly and watched that for a while.
For a while? Kept me awake half the night.
Then why couldn't you sleep in this morning like any other civilized human being?
I did. It was well after 6 when I got up.
Oh, terrific.
Don't let it get cold.
Oh, no, I wouldn't dream of it.
Oh, is that ready?
Oh, just about.
I'll get Davy.
What time does he usually hit the deck?
Oh, about 5:30.
Oh, then he's liable to beat me just going off to bed.
At least Kevin will have a bit of a sleep in with Davy away.
You miss him already, huh?
First time since we were married we've been separated. No, except when I was in hospital having Davy. But even then I still saw him every day. It'll seem funny being without him for 2 weeks.
Oh, I think you'll survive.
I hate to throw these out, but they're getting pretty dead now.
I've been waiting to talk to Patricia. If she doesn't come down soon, I'll have to head off. She must have been tired, sleeping right through.
She was up wandering around a bit last night.
Was she all right?
Said so. Just a bit restless. I think if she can sleep through now, it's best not to disturb her.
Yeah, okay.
Morning.
Hi.
How do you feel?
All right.
Fix you some breakfast.
Sure you're all right?
I have to talk to you. I don't know what Martin said,
Nothing against you.
but now that you've met him, I realize I'll have to tell you the whole truth. I've been worrying all night about how to do it.
I've got an idea what it's about. How you thought of getting rid of me and Angie before we were born.
He did tell you.
Well, your sister said something first. I didn't let on yesterday in case it had upset you more.
You've got to hear my side of the story,
I'm
John.
not blaming you. I realize how tough it would have been for an unmarried mother then.
I wanted to keep my baby. Babies, as it turned out. It was Martin. He insisted. I was young and in love. He was the first man I'd ever been with.
You needn't explain anything to me.
I was gullible enough to think that he would leave his wife for me. Well, he told me he loved me, and I believed him. But once he found out I was pregnant, oh, it was a very different matter then. He changed. He became so angry and cold. I was so frightened that I just agreed to go along with what he wanted.
That's not how he told it.
Of course not. He'd say what suited him. You can't trust him. I certainly couldn't then.
You mean he's conned me?
Even though I agreed to it, I didn't want to do it. But I was so scared. I certainly couldn't go to my parents. So Margaret agreed to help me. We arranged to go to a dance, and I was to slip out. God knows what I would have been like afterwards, but that didn't bother him.
Where did David come into it?
He was at the dance that night. He'd been at me for months to go out with him, but I wasn't interested because of Martin.
And you saw he could be your way out of it all?
I knew him well enough to know that if he thought he was the father, he'd stand by me. By the time we ran off to Sydney, I loved him very much, and he loved me. He never will again.
No.
But you love me, don't you? I was so frightened you wouldn't understand.
There's only one thing. After going through all that, to have us, why did you leave me?
Because you reminded me of Martin and I hated him.
That's all right.
Love is very strange.
So, when Angela was having her affair with a married man, why was Patricia so casual about it? You'd think she'd have done anything to stop her daughter making the same mistakes. Elaine Sage from Shepton Mallet is recovering from a truly sad shock. When I got home from work yesterday, I watched the episode of SAD I'd recorded earlier and turned the video off when it got to the sepia frieze of Peter Phelps, only to see him emerge on a country practice, 15 years older, speaking Vietnamese with long curly hair and an earring. I nearly choked on my tea. Paul's sailing garb on Wednesday caused quite a stir. Kate remembered how her late mum used to refer to brief men's swimming trunks as just enoughs. I'm sure I don't need to explain why. And it's become something of a family joke, so imagine their shrieks of delight when Paul appeared in his. And Sarah B sent a limerick. On Wednesday, that Paul, sexy beast, gave us girlies a visual feast. In those skimpy swim trunks, he's the sweetest of hunks. Thank goodness he stopped being a priest. More on Monday.